Welcome to the Land House YouTube channel. I'm Seth. Spencer Langston from Langston Alternative Power gave me this micro hydro Pelton wheel that I have been testing out for about a year now, and it has made a lot of power until I let everything freeze and crack up and just die. So now I am reworking everything so it will be up and running again. I'm gonna have to redo the plumbing because it's not seated right, but the housing that I made is doing really well. So here's an issue I am having though. If I spin this now, see how free that is? Spins like it should. It'll also go the other way. But as soon as this thing gets wet right up under here, the whole thing locks down electrically. So there's no wires touching each other here. So let me go ahead and demonstrate. Let me turn this on, and within a moment, because when it initially starts up, there's gonna be some splash out of here because I haven't gotten this waterproofed in yet. But so we got 65 PSI here. This thing's gonna be too hard for one hand. Hold on one second. All right, it's running like it should. There it goes. Yeah. So you can see it very quickly locks down, and now if I try to turn it, yeah, it's locked down. So let's take this back up to the shop, pull the housing right here off of this, and see if we can figure out what's going on. Whether the varnish has come loose, or if there's one of these stranded wires that has poked out, or what's going on. But as soon as it gets wet, that's what happens. I've got the PMA up here in the shop, and I twisted it one more time and it worked, and I twisted it again and it didn't. So something is definitely going on here. A subscriber and fellow YouTuber, Workbench Z, sent me this professional soldering iron and some shrink wrap. And so if we get into this and it is an issue with having to resolder this cable here, then I can definitely do that with the tool that he sent. And go check out his channel. He has just started and he has a few videos up that you may be interested in. So thank you for that gift there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. I forgot to mention earlier, a mouse chewed into this wire, and that's what caused this thing to lock down in the first place. So the mouse, as you can imagine, is no more at 300 something watts. So let's see if we can see something down in here. So that's where your wires go into the unit, and everything seems to be fine where those go into or the wire attaches there. Whoa, hold on a second. Check this out. It looks like one of my wires is almost completely severed right in there. I bet that is part of the issue. I'm not sure how it happened. It may be the one, let's see. It's this one right here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would be the middle one. So that's the same, that wire connects to the same spot that this one was chewed in half. So I don't know, maybe when that zapped, it overheated that wire, because it was basically running on 2-phase, or 2 of the 3-phase. Oh look, see, look, check it out. It's working again. But it goes to a certain point and then it stops. Oh man. Let me call Spencer from Langston Alternative Power and ask him what's going on here. I just got off the phone with Spencer Langston from Langston Alternative Power, and he said to go ahead and send the unit back. And so I removed the PVC from the housing, and now in order to get the Pelton wheel off of here, I have removed the main bolt that was down there. He says to hold this up and grab a hold of the Pelton wheel down in here and use something like this piece of all thread that will touch the bottom down there. And then you just slowly hammer this thing off. I think we're moving, but not very quickly. Oh, there's your problem. My all thread is bending like an S. All right, gotta find something else a bit more solid than that. Well, that was the silliest thing. I grabbed it from this side. Let's see if I can do it again. it just slipped right off. So anyway, there you go. We got the Pelton wheel off of there. It seems to be in perfect shape still. So let's go ahead and look down here. I think we just have 4 bolts to remove. So down in the housing, there's just 4 different bolts that have to be unscrewed. Not sure I have the right size. The problem is everything about this spins. Definitely a job for some gloves. Man, that's annoying. All right, I just turned the housing over a little bit, different angle, and that's all it took. I was able to get all 4 of those bolts out of there. So let's pull this off of here. There's the business end of all of this. I'm afraid I knocked 2 of the magnets loose, so I hope Spencer can get those fixed up. Taking a look at all of this, that's the only place I can see that's really burned or not doing well. But it's right here on this wire. Anyway, definitely almost burned all the way through. So that one's bad, and everything else seems fine, but so I wonder if I could trace this again. So this one right here, the middle one, is the one that the mouse chewed. And so this goes into this right here. So I'm thinking this one and this one are connected together for like 3-phase. I don't know. But if it is every other, which I would assume it is, then it's this one, skip, skip, that one. And so that's the one that caused all the issue there. Anyway, I'm going to send this back to Spencer. He's going to send us either a new one or one that has been fixed, and we will be back up and running. Okay, it's been about a week since I sent off the other hydro unit to Spencer, and he has sent a new one, which is right here. It's a little bit different style than the previous one, but hopefully we'll get good results out of it. So once again, it is the 3-phase and should have the same shaft size there. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. So let's go ahead and get this installed, and I think we'll be ready to go ahead and put it back in the water, except for I took all of that off and I'll have to re-plumb everything. So what Spencer was saying is that the jet of water needs to be right on the middle of a cup, and he said what I can do is find let's see, my 1/4-inch nozzle here, and find a small dowel that will fit through there. I don't think I have one currently that'll fit. Those are too big, but anyway, he says take something through the nozzle, and it could be a screwdriver or whatever, and just make sure that it is dead center on those cups for the best results. So basically you get that pipe riser in there, pipe riser, and lock it down and have the dowel through there or screwdriver, and then you plumb everything else around that. So we'll have to do that again this time. I hopefully have everything I need over here in this box, but for now let's get this mounted back up here. I've got the kids out here and they're watching tablets, so I may have to cut the audio because they're listening to copyrighted material. Hey, no. Mama. If you're gonna go out there, make sure you turn off your tablet. Yeah, you guys go play outside in the mud, okay? Okay, nice. I was able to get that mounted back on there, and it looks like it's going to do pretty good. I really hope that the housing I built will fit over here. I need to measure that and make sure that it's not too high. But anyway, it is working now, and I think we're ready to plumb it up and get it back down to the creek. I feel like it would be a terribly long and boring video to watch me try to plumb this up again. But so my plans are to use the same nozzles with the pipe nipples here. And then I found out that even a 3/16 nozzle works well with a chainsaw file. So I can use that as my guide. And I'm going to use a couple of the bigger washers on the inside if possible. So basically there's a little bit of wiggle room in here for where this is supposed to go. And so Spencer's idea was that you use something like this, and it's supposed to basically hit that cup right at the very center. Use this side, because there's about a 1/4 inch up or down and then left and right. So I think if I can get this thing locked down right here. Anyway, so I'll find that position, and then I will go ahead and use my T here to get that locked down. And I'll have to use however many washers I need to space that out correctly. But okay, Emma's got to go pee. Okay, right at 2 hours it has taken me to get this thing done, but I like it a lot. It is so much cleaner than it was before. So once again, we've got the union up here, which actually I don't have to have this piece because it's already down there. So it comes into here, has a cross section, and this one here I think does pretty good. This one's really good, this one's really good, and just as the other one was, the big nozzle is not quite where I'd want it, but it is a whole lot more centered than it was before. So anyway, I think that's going to do it, and it should give us a lot more power than the previous one did. I just brought the unit down here to the water. Let's go ahead and close off everything but the main jet coming in. Looks like that's pretty good. The tolerance for the lid, so close. So if I put my wires in there, I don't know, I hope it's not touching. Doesn't seem like it, but it's within a 1/2 inch or less. Okay, let's spin this up, see how it does. It's been forever since I've had this unit going. Let's see, as usual I can't spin this with one hand. Whew. Spinning so fast. How great is that? So, we still got a little bit of a leak in there. I'm going to just put a little foam on the bottom and make a good seat, and it should do all right. So, let's see here. Let me turn this off again. Put these wires down here when that stops spinning. Let's just put them right over here for now. Okay, so now I want to close this lid and see if it's touching. I sure hope it's not. I don't hear that it's rubbing. Whew, I think we got by. Just barely though. And it's quiet, just as we had hoped. So cool. Definitely some leaks to fix though. All right, let's crank this wide open and see if it will handle all the water going in there. Actually, I wrote down on that's weird. Why did it slow down? Interesting. I have no idea what's going on there. Anyway, let's turn this one on. It's turbulent, but it's handling it. Nice. YouTube channel Workbench Z also sent me a 3-phase cutoff switch to put down here at the turbine. So instead of having to turn off the water, you can just open a box and flip the switch real quick. So we'll be doing that in a different video. But for now, I just want to hook this up to the house, and we'll close this as much as it'll let us, and we will see what kind of power we're getting up there at the house. This thing is ridiculous. Okay, there we go. Spinning with only one nozzle open. So we should be getting somewhere around 130 watts out of that. There's a good chance that this thing is just free spinning because there's so much solar going in right now. Let's see what these say. Let's see, resting. So what am I doing wrong here? That's hydro going in. I'm wondering if it's just got so much here, 530, 540, and the house is only using not much. So let me turn something on like the dryer. But wait, here he goes. It pulled something. Nice, well, it's working. Let me go turn something on in the house and it will require the hydro to work right. This ought to do it. Got some wet clothes in here for an hour. Okay, these things should be pulling a lot. 777, 774, and we've got 42 watts coming in. Okay, I was a little off. Let's go turn on another nozzle and see if we can increase that. Let's open up one of these others over here. Have to check to make sure we've got enough water to do that. I'll keep an eye on this to make sure it stays where it is currently. Well, that's good news. We've got 172 watts coming in. So that is filling that up really nicely. That one turned off because it dropped pretty low. That one's still going at 780. So awesome. I like that a lot. So we've got so like 170 something coming in there. And solar is hitting 660. Cool. All right. I will be updating my batteries from 60 volt to 48 here pretty soon. It'll basically double my storage for batteries. And should make this whole system work pretty good. Because right now, things will cut off at weird times if I charge them back up. I believe that's all for this video. It definitely shows the importance of keeping rodents away from the wire, because that's what happened to my previous PMA. A mouse got into the housing, chewed one of the wires, zapped the mouse, burned up a wire, and the whole thing shut down. I turned off the water, pipes froze. It was a whole mess. But now we have a new housing, a new permanent magnet alternator, new pipes, and it's doing pretty good. So we're making 170 up there right now, and looks like our pressure is dropping. So it's at 50 now, so may have to turn off one of those. Let's see, yeah, this one. Okay. And hopefully that'll bring our pressure back up there to the 65. And it'll only be making about 50 watts, but this time of year, the amount of water I have in the creek is pretty minimal, and it's just not quite enough to keep this running at full. In the winter time, we'll be able to run this hopefully with all 4 nozzles going, which will be pretty crazy. I think to stop these drips from happening, all I have to do is just put a little piece of foam down there in the bottom where the PMA attaches to the housing, and it should just keep all the water going straight down. Pretty cool being able to see it in there spinning around. It's not using much water here. I'll have to see how much water I've got going in up top and if it's using everything or not.